y'all, welcome back. This is Michelle from Michelle's Empty Nest, and today we are back into my October Daily 2021 album. My first time ever attempting an October Daily, and so far I am really enjoying it and I am loving how my album is coming together. And today we are going to do day 5 and day 6. And this one, I decided in order to use up all the pages in this one, if you saw one of my, might have been a live on Instagram, this Heidi Swap Storyline Chapters notebook had maybe 41 or 42 pages, whereas the one that I used in, or for my Me, Myself, and I project only had like 31 or 32. So at some point along the way, and also I think this paperweight is a little thinner. So I think maybe at some point along the way in between times when I ordered that Heidi Swap might have changed her production a little bit or something. But anyway, in order to use up all of those extra pages, or most of them, I decided to make some of my layouts be a double page layout and, just kind of give some visual interest and change it up a little bit instead of just being all single pages. So one of the pages today is a double page layout, and then we'll do a single page. So I'm going to go ahead and get you put on fast forward, and we are going to get these two put together. So let's do it. Okay, I am taking out my project planning sheet and then putting aside what's going to be the next day and getting ready to do this double page spread. I fell in love with this plaid paper. I love this like a golden mustardy green and this beautiful pink color, and it is from Saheen Designs, and it was from the collection Cozy Nook. And so it was another one of those that was like a super sale for Digital Scrapbooking Day this weekend. This past weekend. So I loved it. And then this coordinating paper that has little flowers on it. It kind of reminds me like of a grandma's wallpaper, and pies kind of remind me of grandma or my granny. So I thought that was just a good combination. It made sense to me. And so I am making my papers be 7.6 by 9.1 so that I have just a little bit of wiggle room in case I don't get everything straight, which I rarely don't do. And so you'll see me trimming those off a little bit. And on these papers in Photoshop, I am adding in some kind of, square or rectangle, color picking a color from the background, and then turning the opacity down so you still see just a slight bit of the pattern popping through. It doesn't show up here much on camera, but you can see it in person very well. And then adding my title digitally, which is something new, different that I haven't been doing in these kind of books before, but it's really saving a lot of time than having to stamp, and it's a much neater process. So that font, I finally remembered to write it down. It's called Always in My Heart, and I just like it because it's, it's a fun scripty font. It's not too fancy, it's not too plain, so I really like it. So I got that other side adhered down. I always use score tape to put down my papers into the book itself, and then I use my chomper, my corner chomper. And this book is kind of between a 1/4 and a 1/2 inch rounder. Instead of trying to just make it work, I go ahead and do it with a 1/2 inch. That way everything is uniform throughout and it works. So I've got my pies, and I started with the apple pie that was kind of in the center in that column so I could then, base everything off of that. And I have pecan, apple, like a chocolate cream pie, and then a turtle pie, very similar to like a cheesecake, but not exact, and then a key lime pie. And those are my 5 favorites. And let me know below, what is your favorite pie? Do you like to bake it? Do you like to buy it? Do you like someone else to bake it? Let me know what your favorite pie is. All right, so then we're going to move on to October weather, which is day number 6. And I used this, and I'm just putting like tiny little dots. Only a couple little dots actually show up, glue dots on the edges. And I'm doing that because I'm going to take this off to my sewing machine and sew it. And there you see it, I've made a pocket. So that was a 3x4 card from Syncopation Design from the Pick Me Harvest collection. And I'm putting a little extra tape here because this is going to have a little heavier weight on this pocket than maybe typical. But as soon as I saw that, first off, it reminded me of Charlie Brown, which reminds me of fall and Thanksgiving and all that. And I just use a bone folder here to just make sure everything is, nice and secure down on the gully there in the binding. So I saw that and I knew that I wanted to blow the card up into a bigger size in Photoshop and use it as a pocket. So that's what I did. I just printed that off separately, fussy cut it, and then I'm going to use it to hold this little booklet that I'm making for the weather. Originally, I guess I was just thinking I might screenshot the weather for the day, but I found this website. It's called weatherspark.com, and you can look up your city in a certain month, and there are just multiple charts and graphs. And as a math nerd, as a science lover, as a former math and science teacher, this one had my heart. So I picked out our screenshot. I don't know that I don't think I did every single chart and graph. I think there were a few more. But I mean, we go, things like average temperatures and rain and humidity levels and moon rises and cloud cover and average length of days regularly and with daylight savings times. I mean, there's just all kind of things in here. And this will be something that I will definitely go back and look through and read in detail when I pull this album off my shelf later on down the line. So what I'm doing, or what I did, is I cut some of it out, but I'm just adhering everything back to front. I didn't want to go through all of the hinge building and adding that extra bulk because this was already kind of bulky, and so I just decided I would do it more as like a little flip book type thing. Well, not really a flip book. Let's call it a little tag book. And I have that little bulb paper clip. You can see it there at the top. And that's how I originally thought I was going to put it in there because it lays kind of flat and it wouldn't add any extra bulk. However, unless I place it down flat, it doesn't stay that way as you're flipping through the book. So I'm going to change it later because as I would lay the page over, there would just be a big, spot there poking up. So now I'm going to use those numbers. They were clear circle numbers, and I put them onto white cardstock, punched them out with a circle punch, run them through my Xyron so they're really sticky, and then I'm using these old circle stickers from the Research Girl. That's also where the number stickers came from. And I'm just trying to pick the best color each day that I can to kind of coordinate with the color scheme. And so this one I decided to turn on its side to get the pink kind of away from the stripe that was pink there in the plaid. And then I'm going to go with this orange one for this page. And then you're going to see me, I think this is where I come back in. Yeah, I decided that bulb pin had to go. So I just grabbed out some black and white twine, and I'm going to tie it off where the knot doesn't go all the way down to the paper. And by the way, the front page, also from Syncopation Design, all of those printables like that I do on Canon matte photo paper because you get such a crisp, bright, vibrant, clean looking print when you do that. And then I'm trying a new photo paper for this book since everything's out of the page protector, and it's more like a semi-gloss, and I think I'm loving it. I think. Jury's still out, but I will definitely let you know as we go along. Then I decided to pull out my Dymo label maker and make a label for each one of my pies, just because a couple of them it's not exactly obvious what they are just looking at it. So I want to make sure that that is clear to anyone who flips through my album. And then once I get that done, I think that may finish me up for the day. So, as always, there'll be some close ups at the end as well as over on Instagram. I'd love you to follow me over there as well. And so, I will be back here to talk to you in just a minute. Okay, we're going to call this one done right here. This page is making me very hungry. I would love to go have a piece of pie right now. Pecan is definitely my favorite. And if you've ever been to Key West and had a slice of key lime pie there, you've had the best key lime pie in the world. I wasn't super thrilled with this color of pink label. I wished I had not used this color on this day. I didn't want to use it, you know, kind of back to back. I think it would have been a better color, but it's okay. It works. And then on this page, I love the way it looks. And as soon as I saw this, I think it was a 3x4 card from Syncopation Designs, I knew I wanted to blow it up in Photoshop and use it, fussy cut it and use it as some kind of pocket. And I thought I would do this since I had all of these different weather stats for my nerdy self about how the weather is in October in Georgia, specifically Atlanta, which is about 45-50 minutes away from me. I did this in my head. I sketched it. I tried it out in Photoshop, but I did not really think about how much weight there was going to be. So I'm not sure that this pocket is deep enough. So I'm going to have to kind of see how it goes as I use my album through the month. I may end up having to stitch a deeper pocket or something, I'm not sure, but I loved these two papers together, and with the falling leaves it seemed to fit with the weather theme. So even if I have to do some adjustment, it will still be very similar. Even if I have to duplicate the pattern and print it out taller, I can do that. So that's where we'll stop for the day. I certainly appreciate you stopping by. It means more to me than you will ever know. If you enjoyed this video, I would love a thumbs up down below. And if you have not already subscribed to my channel, I would love for you to do that and become a part of my little YouTube family. I'd also like for you to follow me over on Instagram, where I post a lot of different things behind the scenes and in progress, and just more projects that never make it all the way over here onto a video on YouTube. There's always close-ups at the end, and there's always close-ups with the post over on Instagram as well. Whenever I have any journaling, I always show that in a big enough picture to where you can read the journaling. I think I've only had one time that I did not include the journaling, and I've shared some very raw emotional things. One of my goals is always to be authentic here and talk about the tough things if they need to be talked about. And so while none of these pages today had any journaling at all, I certainly do share what's on my heart and my mind in my journaling with you. So we will go ahead and close out, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, do something good for yourself and have an amazing day. Bye-bye.